Welcome to part 2 of the Linux Essential series. In this video, we're going to be going over variables. And as always, go to the Linux Professional Institute website and choose the Linux Essentials, and you'll find this PDF document. It's really great content. The explanations are great, and the examples are really helpful as well. So go ahead and grab your copy. So in this video, we're going to be going over variables. Variables. What are variables? Well, they're simply pieces of storage for data such as text or numbers. And in the Linux shell, there are two types of variables. So we have the local variable and we have the environmental variables. The local variable is only available in the current shell, while the environment variables, which we can also think as global variables, they're available in your current shell session and in subshells generated from the current shell. Okay, so manipulating variables. So first, to create a variable, all you have to do is just type the name that you want to, give your variable. So greeting, and then use the equal sign and no space in between, and then just put in value. So we're gonna say hola. All right, so let's print value of our variable. So we're just going to use the dollar sign. Now the dollar sign is very important, and then we're going to type in greeting. Okay, and you can see it prints hola. Now if you don't use the dollar sign, then you're not going to be able to access that variable's value. So it's so important that you use the dollar sign. Okay, and so that is how you create a local variable, and that is how you print that out, display it to the screen. Okay, so this is a local variable because if we use this command and we say echo our variable, you can see that this variable is not remembered here. All right, so that's how you know it's a local variable. Um, if you wanted to make this a global variable, you'd have to use the keyword export. So you'd have to say export, and then when you create the variable, so for example, we could create another variable here. So say message, and we could have welcome. All right, so now let's use the same command, and remember the dollar sign. All right, welcome. So you can see that message is a global variable. All right, so let's continue here. So if you wanted to remove a variable, you use the command onset. So if you wanted to remove our variables, we could just say onset the name of our variable. Now, because you're trying to remove the variable, we're actually going to refer to the variable with its name. So we don't need the dollar sign here because we're not trying to access the value of the variable. We actually want the variable itself. So we could say onset greeting. All right, so now when we try to echo, see, nothing happens because we've removed that variable. Okay, let's create the variable again. So greeting, and again, let's say hi, and then let's echo again dollar sign hi. All right, now let's remove it again. So onset greeting and echo dollar sign greeting. It's gone. Okay, so that is how you remove a variable. We could also do that for global variables as well. So remember, we created our global variable called message right here using the this export command. All right, so let's unset message. First, let's echo message. So let's echo message. Okay, and now let's unset message. All right, now let's echo message. Huh, did not remove message. Interesting. Okay, it did not remove it because here we're unsetting the value of message. Okay, and so this is what we actually need to watch out for. So instead of using the dollar sign here, we actually want the variable itself. Okay, so we have to use onset and the name of the variable, which is message. Okay, and so now when we echo message using the dollar sign, right, message, the variable called message has been removed and it no longer exists. Okay, and so that is that. And to see all our variables, um we use the, I'm just trying to find it here, we use the env command. So env, and so that shows us all our variables here, all our environment variables. So show as that, and home, it's right here. So let's try that. So let's echo a variable called home. All right, and that's it right there. And if you look at the display here, you see that home is in fact equal to that value. Okay, and then let's try username here. So let's echo that. So let's echo again dollar sign and then username. Okay, so that is how you assess variables and display them to the screen. Um, Something else that's interesting is, or this exploration or exercises, which I encourage you to try them out. It actually allows you to do a little bit more research on the beyond what has been taught, and so that's really great. Okay, so here we're asked to create a local variable and assign the number of lines found in this file. All right, and it gives us a hint. It tells us to look into the command WC and command substitution, and don't forget about quotation marks. Okay, so we need to create a local variable. So the name of our local variable is nr files. I'm gonna clear first. Okay, so the name of our local variable is nr files. Okay, and so this variable needs to be the value of the number of lines found in a file called, which is slash etc slash password. Okay, so now we asked to use this command. Okay, we don't know what the command does though, so we might not know. So we're going to use the command man, and then wc. Okay, let's see what it says here. So we're given a description. It says print new line word byte count for each file. Okay, and then we have some switches here. So this one prints the byte count, M prints the character count, and L prints the new line count. So that sounds like what we're looking for because we're asked to assign the variable to. So we're just going to go with Q. Alright, so now that we know what the command WC does, I think we can use it. So we can go nr files is equal to. But now we're not just directly assigning a value to this variable. We actually want to assign a command, right? The result of a command to our variable. So we have to use command substitution. And now you can look this up and you find different ways that we can do that. So the first way we can use the dollar sign. The dollar sign is very powerful. right? And then in brackets, we can put the command. Okay, so our command is wc and then the L switch and then the name of our file, which is /etc slash password. All right, and then put that in brackets and then enter. Now let's echo and our underscore files. Voila. So the number of lines in our file is 49. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it would be to use the backtick. So you can do nr files and then to assign the result of a command to a variable, you can use the backtick and then go ahead wc the L switch and then /etc slash password. All right, and then finish up with another backtick and then enter and then let's echo and our underscore files. Again, we get the same 49 lines. Okay, so how about we unset the variable, so nr files. Okay, and now let's try to echo nr files. It's gone. Okay, so now let's use the backtick. So nr files, again, use the equal sign, use backtick, and then put in your command. So wc our L switch, because you're trying to count the number of lines, and then the name of our file. Okay, so, or the path to our file, whichever. All right, and then we're going to finish up with a backtick. And now let's echo $ and our files. There we go. All right, so that is how you assign the result of a command to a variable and display a variable. And all right, so you can go ahead and try the rest of the explorational exercises, number 2, 3, 4, and 5. You'll find the examples above. So you'll find the examples here with working with global variables. So this is the date. All right, and then also path variables and how we can add to the value of a variable. All right, so go ahead and try those out. And that is all for today. For this video, I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, share the video, and we'll see you next time. All right, Joy Tech signing out.